year
คนนี้น่าจะย้ายมาจาก DFM อ่ะ EV จำเห็นบ่อยอยู่ในเวอร์
Red Side Lovers tends to be DCG. Yesterday, notably, I believe it was
แต่ว่าล่าสุดเขายังแข่งแพท 14.5 นะ 14.5 ก็คือแพทที่แล้วอ่ะของไทยตอนนี้เป็นแพท 14.6
Way I did see it.
14.5 ก็คือเป็นแพทที่เซนนาแล้วก็คาม่ายังขี้โกงอยู่
Vista, the support for SoftBank,
Yeah.
has been spamming Camille support and solo queue, just spamming it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's stronger in solo. I mean, definitely it's going to be stronger in solo queue than in competitive, but it is always going to be the most dominant laning support as things stand.
As well as just if you are a team that likes to make picks, just the range of her engage.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Even before she has ult. Is terrifying.
Yeah.
I think against some of these better bot lanes, she might actually struggle in the laning phase.
Damn, PSG are not interested in strong laners in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a Lucian ban?
So SoftBank had Twisted Fate banned against them a lot.
แต่ส่วนใหญ่แพท 14.5 ที่เห็นเขาแบนกันก็คือเขาจะชอบเน้นแบน AD กันนะ
Udyr banned up against RJ makes sense. 2 junglers banned against Junjia. Very high performing player if he gets his hand on some comfort.
เวอร์เซนนาก็น่าจะโดนส่วนใหญ่ถ้าไม่แบนก็หยิบอะเซนนาถ้าแพท 14.5 นะ
Final game up against BYG earlier on in the week.
Yeah.
So Junjia, I mean, he's just gonna be comfortable on whatever he picks here anyway.
Junjia and Woody on engage looks terrifying.
Yeah, I would love to see another Rakan from Woody because that was probably the best Rakan game we've seen this split. In fact, it's not even probably, it just was.
Yeah.
Nautilus left open. It is, I believe, still sitting at 100% presence here in the playoffs.
I think.
And there it goes.
Vista might have played 5 out of 6 games in the playoffs for them on Nautilus, so not too surprised to see it insta-lot.
Is this going to be Senna? Do you just, as PSG, I guess you're expecting Senna here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Kaiser?
And it's not a horrible idea to pick away the Senna, I think, because you can always go Senna
I think he just picks Smolder, honestly.
Yeah?
I actually think Smolder does fine into the Nautilus Senna. You've banned 2 very strong, oppressive laning 80 carries. Picking the Smolder here might...
สโมเดอร์แพท 14.5 นี่ก็ขี้โกงนะคือไว้ได้ทุกเลนอะเลนบนเลนกลางเลนล่างแล้วแบบอัตราชนะก็ขี้โกงด้วย
More of the Silas counterfix to Ahri.
คือหยิบเมื่อไหร่ฝั่งตรงข้ามต้องเริ่มเดาว่าจะไปเลนไหน
So if you want to get the Senna, you probably have to pick it up.
แต่ว่าแพท 14.6 ก็ไม่ค่อยโหดแล้วนะเพราะว่าโดนเนิร์ฟแบบหนัก
Maybe just your pick of jungler, unless you have a.
นี่ไงมารับเซนนาแพท 14.5
Ahri a lot, yeah.
ตีโคตรแรงแต่ว่าแพท 14.6 โดนเนิร์ฟก็อาจจะตีไม่แรงอันนี้คือเซนนา AD นะ
The Ahri, but is more vulnerable to ganks.
Yeah. And we saw Cascada put a lot of pressure on. I don't remember who they played against.
When was this?
It was Talia into Ahri, and he just.
บูเขาน่าจะไปป่ามั้งส่วนใหญ่เห็นเขาเวลาแข่งเขาชอบออกไปป่ากัน
No, I think it was after DFM.
Then was it against Frank then?
Yeah, it must have been Frank. And he burned Jimian's flash just on his own 1v1.
Right.
As the Talia, around like level 7 or 8. So you can definitely mess up in this lane as the Ahri and find yourself, losing.
ทาริยาก็น่าจะป่ามั้งเฮ้ยหรือว่าบางเกมก็เห็นเขาเล่นไปกลางนะแล้วแต่
Aggressively, you got to watch out for the charms.
That's something we did see. Jimian actually.
Yeah.
Pulling off a really nice charm onto Arya as he used the Weaver's Wall.
Yeah.
And now bans Lee Sin taken away from Forest, Rel taken away from Woody.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are still a lot of engaged subs if you want to go them. Alistair, Rakan, Leona. Woody's going to be completely fine. Might even not want to. Maybe we'll see a way out of Woody.
And if PSG are getting through this early game even or ahead, this Wukong can just run through SoftBank's team with what they've got so far. Smolder is going to be having a field day as well.
Yeah, the Wukong's never really.
SHG อันนี้เป็นทีมของญี่ปุ่นนะคือปีนี้PCS จะมีทีมจากญี่ปุ่นเข้ามาแจม
Mobile carries.
เพราะว่าถ้าเกิดเป็นปีที่แล้วญี่ปุ่นเขาจะมีลีกของตัวเองใช่ไหมแต่ว่าปีนี้ไม่ใช่ก็คือมารวมกับ PCS
for
เพราะ ราะว่าเหมือนไลออดเขาเห็นว่าอะไรนะเออคือเหมือนในโวไม่ค่อยโหดไงก็เลยเอามารวมกัน
strong and very blind
แล้วก็กลายเป็นว่าคนชนะ pay off งวดเนี่ยก็คือได้แค่ที่เดียวไป MSI
most of the time.
Yeah, we do. But the Cassante is completely fine.
ถ้าหยิบมาอย่างนี้ก็น่าบูคองน่าจะปาดไอเรเนกตันก็น่าจะใบบน
This has not felt like it could lose this matchup.
Yeah.
Are you low damage with the Gragas?
Not really.
I guess it depends what you build.
It depends on your jungler as well. But the Tillia offers a lot of damage. Senna eventually offers damage. Graves, you will not struggle for damage.
Okay.
อันนี้ก็น่าจะเกฟเข้าป่า ตัวระยะกลาง
Solo AP, it looks like what we're going with.
And we have a team fighting comp and then a Graves.
Oh, we saw this Ornn pick into the Renekton last night as well.
Yeah, rest.
Yeah, so it must be a decent matchup for the Ornn. I think he did get dived once. But
I don't think he's picking Zillion.
Renekton Wukong never diving.
Yeah.
Rom. Doesn't stick out to me as a great Rom game.
It's really, no, I think it's really good into Ornn, and it's very good into North.
นอติลุสเจอบอมน่าจะต่างคนต่างฟาร์มอ่ะมันไม่ได้กดกันเวอร์ขนาดนั้นน่าจะแบบจังหวะล้วนๆ
It's very strong into champs like Nautilus as well. It's going to offer a lot of protection for your Smolder.
Yeah, I just don't think Graves or Senna care all that much about the Braum.
The Senna doesn't. The Graves is going to struggle to get past him.
Yeah.
Graves, while is ranged, he's very low ranged. And so with the setup that you have between Wukong, Renekton, honestly even Ahri, it's going to be pretty hard for this Grave to find a whole lot of damage. You will have a bit of pressure early. You should be stronger than the Wukong for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Should be Forest controlling the map early game. But even in these unfavorable matchups, Aja just seems to know where to go to get a kill. Around the level 4, level
นี่ไงชื่อเต็มฟุกุโอกะซอฟแบงค์ชื่อย่อ SHG
Winners are so good.
ส่วน PSG ทารอนนี่น่าจะเห็นกันอยู่บ่อยอยู่แล้วเพราะว่ามันของเอเชียไงแต่ว่าอีกทีมบนอ่ะญี่ปุ่น
Getting ahead this game.
ญี่ปุ่นมา2ทีมมั้ง DFM แล้วก็ไอเนี้ย SHG
All carries.
He is
and he'll buy so much time for Smolder.
That's right. He's going to be the bridge for Smolder. PSG, though, they're the best team at using the Smolder, so I think you just automatically come into this load screen and you are worried.
Yeah, once you see the Nautilus, and it's smart drafting from PSG, once you see the Nautilus, the Senna is probably coming, and they pick the Braum as maybe also just anti-dive.
Yeah, well, Braum is just really good into champs like Nautilus, Leona. That tends to be where he thrives.
Yeah, even if they find the engage, it's hard to get follow-up through the Braum.
Yeah.
Kind of fills the role that Tom Kench does.
I think we've seen Woody on the Braum before, haven't we? We've seen one Braum, and it was an answer to a very similar...
I remember Kaiwing
No, it was
playing
Kaiwing.
Braum
It was
after
Kaiwing.
40 supports were banned.
Yeah, it was Kaiwing.
เลือดน่าจะหายไปประมาณ100 กว่า
The most ridiculous Braum game in the world. Where it was
Did they have Braum Sejuani that game as well, or no? We've seen a Braum Sejuani as well.
It might have been. I don't remember. That was ground zero up against Frank.
Yeah, this is such a cool draft
Or
from
Antics up.
SoftBank.
นี่ไง LJL ซีด1ซีด2คือ DFM ปกติ DFM มันจะได้ที่1ตลอดเลยนะของลีกญี่ปุ่นมาแพ้ปีนี้แหละแพ้ไอ้ทีมนี่แหละ SHG
Yeah, all of their champs scale. Graves also scales, and Junjie, he's pretty low. I didn't actually see what happened, but...
Senna does barely feel like a scaling champ lately. It feels like more of a tempo champ. Once she gets level 6, she can just ditch the Nautilus in the bot lane and go contest Grubs.
Yeah, but that'll feel really good for PSG.
Yeah.
Being that it just leaves a Smolder alone to...
Yeah, it will feel really bad for a Renekton, though. If you're in a Renekton and the Senna, as often Senna does, just goes in lane's top for a while and shoves you into your turret.
While I do agree, I don't think it's that bad this game because the only lane of prio that Junji is going to have is topside. So he's most likely going to be spending a lot of time around this top area.
Yeah.
Whether not looking to gank most likely, but just that's the safest place for this Wukong.
เฮ้ยเหมือนเซน่ากดนะระยะตีขี้โกงกว่า
In threat of a Nautilus Senna diving you with a Graves. So you can pretty willingly let that be, especially that you have a Braum, and just play around the strength of this Renekton, who is going to be your main strength in the early stage of this game.
Yeah, and if Forest clears down he might just find himself clearing very quickly with not much to do this game. He was going to cross the map.
Yeah.
I really like this. It seems like he knew where Junjie started, because if he just clears downwards, Junjie does get the camp.
Neither jungler's using their smite there, so...
Yeah, because if he just clears downwards, he's going to just find himself not interacting at the point of the game where he is by far the strongest compared to the Wukong.
Yeah, well, I mean, while I agree, I think it's dangerous to be on the top side, because if you get collapsed on, it's going to be worse for the Ornn Graves. And honestly, Graves likes full clearing, so I think hitting down the river is probably actually better. You're not really ganking this Renekton, you're not ganking the Ahri. You are just full clearing until there is some play around the map.
So, just full clear. I don't think they can dive. I would be very surprised to see a dive.
แต่ว่า CS ไม่ต่างนะ21เท่ากันเลย
To really look for it.
I think SoftBank are looking for a hard trade here, if they can get one. Whether it's favorable or not is not really as important as just getting the HP down.
Plans, but Thrawn will chuck up that shield and feel completely okay.
แต่ส่วนใหญ่นอติลุสเวลาปาท่าหนึ่งโดนมันก็ต่อไม่ได้เพราะเวลาบอมมันยิงสกิลหนึ่งส่วนก็ต้องถอยอ่ะเพราะถ้าตีต่อโดนสแต็กไอ้พาสซีฟบอมครบนี่คือโอกาสตายคือสูงนะเพราะว่าช่วงต้นเกมสตันบอมนี่แบบโคตรแรง
Far forward here, he's one auto attack off going down, and that's going to be his flash lock.
เฮ้ยตอนแรกนึกว่าตายแล้วเนี่ยไอ้จิมออน
Yeah, risky to stay, but
is this pushing? Oh no, okay, Argy's just
ถ้าแฟชช้ากว่านี้ยังน่าจะเกิดใหม่อ่ะ
running, and he's building himself up some items.
Yeah, built himself a cloth armor, is going to stay. Junjie didn't stay, so he should be able to just catch this wave.
But again, I think the early stage of this game played perfectly from Junjie. I actually think it was a mistake for Forest to spend so much time around the top side. You're not going to find anything down here in terms of a kill, but you could have even looked to, you know, full clear, take the crab, take the gromp, and then recall. But I think you lost a bit of tempo invading the Raptors.
Oh, Aja takes a tower shot. It doesn't matter
he's
all
backing
that much.
Anyway.
And Graves is going to be eyeing up these Void Grubs, and he should just get them.
Yeah, but if Junjie starts dragging, I think this is better for PSG.
อันนี้ก็น่าจะฟรีเพราะว่า PSG ไม่เห็น
Yeah, I think this is the advantage of Void Grubs. You don't actually have to commit to finishing.
เอาแค่ตัวเดียว
The game bot side starts up the dragon. You've still gotten a Void Grub for yourself, but you've come down to disrupt their dragon, and doing half a dragon is worth nothing. Doing half the Void Grubs is, you know, still a couple Void Grubs.
Sure, Seismic Shove won't quite connect onto Maple. There's all things pretty even on the map. It is just
อาจจะแบบอยากได้มังกรมากกว่าได้เดานะ
SoftBank going for a dragon trade now. Junjie is not 6 yet. Bot lane has prio, so should just be the dragon started up for them. A lot of prio in mid off of the Talia. Have to be a little careful as the Talia. Junjie is not going to hit 6 yet, so you're not sweating. No, he doesn't start the dragon. It looks like he's eyeing up a dive. There aren't going to be any camps here.
Yeah, this is never a dive. Surely.
Maybe with Talia coming.
Okay, yeah. Weaver's wall available. See. Okay, Betty doing the uniform special, but he is not going to really fight all that much. Nice flash, but he's going to get rooted up. There's first blood going over there. Vista taking that one. He does go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but you got down that smolder is very important. Teleport available for Betty though, so it's not going to be all that impactful. Just the kill over the Forest does feel pretty good. Now Spirit Rush available for Maple if they decide to get aggressive. It looks like they won't.
สโมเดอร์เอาน้ำบริเทเลย
Have it. Makes sense into the Nautilus and makes that dive pretty inconsequential. It's a kill on the Graves, sure. Which is what he needs at this point, but you don't really deny the Smolder all that much, and it's a 1-for-1. So I'd say slightly favoring SoftBank.
For sure. There's no doubt about it. It does favor them, but I don't think you got as much out of that as you probably wanted.
Yeah, they played the dive so well as well. They kind of just stood around until Betty had used his flat.
Yeah.
I don't think they even had tower aggro when he used it, so they waited that out. And this is Smolder's best anti-dive tool, apart from the giant Braum next to him. Yeah, he uses the flat.
Yeah, I think he used it early because of the smoke screen. He couldn't see what's going on. Back to live, though. Junjia claims himself a kill onto Marble down the bot side. He's even going to get himself a double kill. This Dragon's still at a half HP. A lot of low health members on PSG.
ยังต้องถอยนะ น่าจะถอย
Woody, so it's okay. Seismic shove lands. Junjia now, he is in trouble. Does actually get over the wall now onto Vista, but it's a shutdown. The flash from Dasher. But it's going to be this Nautilus picking up that shutdown.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dasher loses his flash there. That looked like a very close fight. Marble went down first. With his flash up, he must have just been CC chained by Maple and Junjia. We'll get to see what happened on the replay. It was a kill, yeah, unfortunately going to the Nautilus and 2 kills on Junjia. We've seen him when he gets kills on this Wukong.
Yeah.
Forest starts up the Dragon. Has a pink ward on it, so maybe feels safe here. And
nice
I think
ward,
Junjia
actually.
is 6. Yeah, Junjia is 6 and Forest is 5 on the Graves. Yeah.
อ๋อ เอามังกรแล้วไปเหยียบบอด
Nice flash from Junjia. Yeah, he essentially just 3v1 there, killed the Senna, and almost killed the Graves. Petty
Maple
almost.
as well. That spurt rush.
เหมือนวูคองแฟดใส่หน้าเซนหน้าแล้วมาสกิล4ใส่ก็เลยแบบเรียบร้อย
Dasher. And Vista, yeah, gives Junjia a way out.
I actually can't believe that dash reaches that far.
Yeah.
That's insane. Junjia's a beast.
Yeah, gets the most for his death there. Manages to give it over to the Nautilus and gets the flash out of the Talia.
Oh my, this ward is not seen again. New ward, still not seen by the pink.
คราวนี้น่าจะได้นะเพราะเหมือนวูคองบ่อยแล้ว
Full SoftBank means it should be theirs to pick up, and eventually Forest will claim the first Dragon of the game, but it's at 10 minutes, which is
very late.
Very late. It's not going to be until almost 30 minutes where the Dragon Soul can possibly come through, at which point your Smolder will be well and truly online.
Yeah, and we said Wukong Renekton wouldn't be diving, but this is a very low Ornn. Renekton ult is down, but Wukong ult is up.
Yeah, no dominant.
น่าจะเอาได้นะเพราะว่าเลนต้าน่าจะสตันออกโอ้
Forge God not quite clearing out the wave. In fact, now he will, but Maple's come through. The Unstoppable has been used. Bellowed Breath not really finding all that much value.
ไม่เสียแฟลชด้วย
That much CC, it's not all that hard to kill the Ornn. He had to use his W, which is his CC immunity, to clear the wave. And then they went straight after. And yeah, Forrest has kind of found himself at his bot lane, which is stronger with nothing to do.
Yeah, and Betty's still at
game.
almost 70 stacks too, so...
Yeah, doing perfectly fine.
แต่ถ้าได้เหมือน PSG จะได้ไวกัพ5ตัวนะแต่ถ้าได้ก็คุ้มอยู่เพราะว่าถ้าได้ไวกัพ5ตัวก็เหมือนใจนั่นนะได้บัฟที่มันมีแมลงออกมาเวลาตีป้อม
We're embroiled. Smolder, insta wave clear. Calling.
ไม่แย่ไม่แย่
Up there, but it's so hard for Graves to get damage onto the Smolder with the Braum there.
Yeah. Has his opportunity. Very strong.
5 Void Grubs for PSG now. Aja is probably going to be the one appreciating that.
Yeah.
More than anyone.
I mean, as the game progresses, Smolder's going to be pretty okay at auto-attacking a tower, especially once Rapid Fire Cannon's online. We'll see if Betty goes for the Rapid Fire Cannon here as the second item. It's what he has done quite a few times. It does mean that you're doing slightly less damage at your second item spike, but it's a lot safer, a lot more reliable to be landing constant Qs in a team fight, and it does tend to, I mean, the evidence shows that he tends to be able to get himself the kills and the damage he wants in team fights more efficiently.
Yeah. Yeah, just off the eye test, it feels like, and intuitively, it feels like Smolder is just better with the rapid fire cannon. It's obviously not as much damage theoretically if you run the math on it.
Yeah, it's always going to be dependent on the game, right?
Yeah.
It's never ever just going to be rapid fire's better here or Spear of Shojin's better here. It tends to be a game-to-game thing. This game, I actually think you probably can just get away with the Spear of Shojin. The only real range that you're worried about is center, and it doesn't feel like it's all that threatening, especially considering you do.
มันก็ยังพอๆกันนะยังไม่แบบยังไม่ฉีกขนาดนั้นนะก็ยังอยู่จังหวะล้วนๆนะ
Dominus is being propped here, and he does land the two-man knock-up. He's following it up with the call of the Forge God, but this is not going to mean all that much. Teleport coming through. Maybe he's able to turn one around. No, he won't. Forest coming in now as well as Vista with the teleport on the Nautilus. Dredge line lands, depth charge as well, but Junji has gone forward. Maple, Woody, they're all here. Forest trying to get out. Weaver's Wall comes in. It's going to be Dasher trying to find the damage back onto Junji, but Junji is healing up. Maple's going to have to flash away, and Woody here is going to be allowing Junji to get into Forest and get himself.
ตอนแรกคิดว่าเกมรอดแล้วนะ
Junji and PSG confirming them.
อ๋อวูคองแฝดใส่หน้าแล้วก็ใช้ท่าหนึ่งใส่
Nowhere there. SoftBank lose 2 members.
เฮ้ยแต่ว่าเพิ่งเห็นอ่ะวูคองคนนี้คิวไป5 ตัวแล้ว5-1อ่ะ
Weak side Orn death, where he clears the wave and just goes down. I mean, Betty winning out when these kind of plays happen. Your team is winning on the opposite side of the map, and you're just farming on the smolder. Evie, it just looks like he's gonna clear the wave here, and I mean, it's shocking that Woody gets here in time, considering his counterpart has teleport. Evie does actually a really good job stalling and trading a bunch of damage back onto Aja, and that was a nice Senna ult to damage him as well. But Forest, importantly, can't get anywhere near Aja here. He might have even been able to kill him with Graves ult, but there's a Wukong between him and the Renekton. Forest does a great job just juking out Maple forever, but gets caught out by the Wukong invis. Caught off guard there and picked off.
อ๋อวูคองเหมือนไม่ได้แฟดเลยนะแค่แบบหายตัวธรรมดา
Realizing where they're strong, and SoftBank are playing to the strength of PSG, which is finding them at constant disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, Forest has tried to go bomb.
ก็ยังห่างไม่เยอะ1ต่างให้700
Played the early game, and this Braum pick, he's really struggling to have impact in this game.
For sure, and with that, PSG, I mean, honestly, considering the kills, gold lead not that impressive. It is 800 gold, which is, of course, something you'd like to see. But more important, it's just been so much free time for the Smolder.
Yeah, the Smolder is going to be an issue in these fights. You know, not slouches in terms of scaling, but we haven't seen anything close to Smolder scaling.
Yeah. There is a lot of setup. Obviously, the Braum shield denies a bit of it, but depth charge will always land through the Braum ult. The Braum shield. So Biddy, if you use the depth charge on him, will be getting knocked up. And maybe you can find follow-up on that afterwards. Woody going to be throwing up that shield. Glacial Fissure also comes out, and Mum lands onto all 4 members. Teleport now from Evie. Going to come through, but RG's already on the back line. RG's in the middle of 5, and RG is going to get hooked. He's going to go down. Maybe a little bit too over-aggressive, but now Junji is going to find one. He's got the Cyclone popping. It's a 4-man going hard. He's going to go down now. It's a big shutdown. It's going to go over to Marble on the center. Hook does not quite connect onto Woody, but now the dash, it will be Evie finding the knock up here. Woody trying to survive, flashing away, and Betty the whole time he's getting stacks, he's getting damage, but this time it's going to be SoftBank who went out in that engagement.
Yeah, and importantly, get this Dragon to put a timer on the Smolder. He's
นิดเดียวถ้าใครนะนี่ต้านตายเช้ากว่านี้นิดนึงนะอาจจะแบบเผื่อจะชนะไฟ
SoftBank, honestly, dealing with this Wukong is not the easiest thing for this team comp. And, I mean, you saw the impact difference of a Renekton versus an Ornn in that fight. And we'll see how it starts. It's actually Woody getting hooked. Perfectly fine to have your Braum get hooked here. He almost goes down, but responds with a nice ulti, and PSG used the choke really well initially. It's actually Maple who struggles to have any impact in this fight. He dashes here into a well-timed Shattered Earth by...
คือไฟตะกี้เลยนะต้นแทบไม่ได้ทำเดเมจอะเหมือนตายไปก่อนได้สตันอะ
really well against the Wukong ulti.
Yeah, I mean, RJ may be going a little bit too aggressive too quickly. Get himself found basically in what was a 5v1.
Yeah, this is not a tanky Renekton.
No, and honestly, if Maple doesn't dash directly into that Scattered Earth, it might go a little bit differently, but...
Yeah, the fight starts with PSG using that choke very well, but then themselves kind of funneling into it against
Dasher,
the Talia.
I mean, Dasher just played it fantastically as the Talia there, in all honesty.
And speaking of Dasher, it looks like he got Maple's ult out of him and is going to be fine.
Dasher is quite low, though. Looks like Maple used the ult aggressively. As Rift Shield taken, it's going to be Forest to use.
Probably this is the pace you want as SoftBank now. If you're going to have any hope of winning this game. Does Woody go down here? What happens?
Oh, yeah, Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh.
There's just a member of SoftBank in every...
ไม่ทันดูตายแล้ว
I think he thought he was fine, but 5 people collapse on him out of nowhere. And yeah, this is the pace you need the game to be at if you're SoftBank, but it really might come down to that one slip up at the very first Dragon attempt they went for, where they gave Junji a couple kills and couldn't do the Dragon at the timing they wanted to. Aja.
Dasher, yeah, Dominus pop. Dasher, he uses everything here. It's going to actually land the stun because of that scattered earth, but he's going to go down. Junjie and RJ are not going to let him get out of this one, and Junjie now has 7 on the board as this Wukong.
Yeah, this Wukong is so difficult for this comp to deal with as well.
คือฆ่าตายแบบไม่ต้องใช้อันติ
Him out. It's going to be just so difficult. I don't know.
All right, let's click Smolder. 164. Oh, he's almost there.
Yeah.
A little bit slow for Betty pace, but no, not that bad.
Yeah, and it's thanks to a good pace set by SoftBank. Especially in the mid game, they couldn't get too much done against him in the early game. The one time they did dive him, he just had TP and it didn't really amount to much. Meanwhile, Aja is going to pick up 700 gold for himself. I couldn't see if that was split with Junjia. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I think at this stage maybe you want it to be, just because of how strong Junjia is. Getting into
ตอนนี้เหมือนต่างคนต่างฟาร์มอะรอไฟมังกรทีเดียวมั้ง
Much cheaper items on the Graves. But yeah, he's there, hanging in with them at 2 items. He's got a lot of farm on the Graves.
Yeah. But you see there, the gold difference. It is Arja and Junjia well ahead of the competition. They're going to have to try and utilize that to get one of these dragons. Smolder will reach stacks before the possible soul comes up, but you don't really want to give them over soul point, because then it is just one slip up and all of a sudden you've made the game.
นี่ไง1 นาที 23 วิเดี๋ยวน่าจะมีอีกสักไฟหนึ่ง
You kind of want to fight now, but you also kind of don't, just because your Smolder is... He will have, if you give this dragon, he will have stacks for the soul fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, you just put yourself in a very volatile game state where one mistake from any member of your team is going to mean the enemy team gets soul.
Shield is going to crash there as they look to put some chip damage into this mid lane tower. Of course, we say it all the time, probably the most important outer tower to get, just because it opens up the map so much more.
Yeah, especially against Smolder.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he can just sit under this tier 1 for 40 minutes, just clearing.
Honorable man Junjia given over the wolf for Betty. He is now at 195 stacks, so he's even close to getting it for this fight. If you get him to sort of 10 off, he will just get it during the fight.
Yeah, and that might be good enough for PSG to fight. We'll see. Aja's recalling, so is Maple, so
Yeah, I
probably
think we're having
plans
a
to
fight.
TP. Yeah,
I think we're not giving over
TP.
this.
Do they have any flank wards? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Pretty good vision control across the board for SoftBank.
แต่หลังๆเหมือนสโมเดอร์เขาเอาแต่เทเลมาแล้วนะไม่ค่อยเอาฮิวละเหมือนเอามาจะได้เก็บสเต็ก225เร็วๆอะจะได้บัฟขี้โกง
Not going to get hit by that seismic shove. Vista will see if he can have the same amount of impact he has been having so far. Pretty good game of the Nautilus, all things considered.
Yeah, Junji is
All
looking
charm
for a
lands
flank.
though, Winter's Bite as well.
Yeah, that is a very tanky Nautilus.
Yeah.
Picking up a couple kills.
คือถ้ามีใครโดนสกิล1ต้องรถจังๆนี่เกิดใหม่แน่นอน
For the side of SoftBank, Dasher took half.
Yeah, I think he got hit by a charm, and with that, this is going to be a lot harder. Does have the access to that Seraph's shield as Mum does come through. Betty fighting a little bit of damage, finding some stacks for himself, and Dasher still very, very low. Maple as well, hanging out on the side of the team.
ใส่ทาริยาหายไปแล้วครึ่งหลอด
Earlier on, Arja's going to get really, really heavily chunked, stunned up even, and loses his Sterix gauge. Has the Dominus pop though, as his Rage Bar will be filling up. Woody as well, does have shield. This Dragon now is going to come down to a Smite fight. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Junjia every day of the week. And now Maple's on the back line. Everyone's getting so low here on the side of SoftBank, and Junjia gets one. Evie's going to be the next target. On the other side though, Forest going down to Maple. Evie is so low, and Evie is no longer.
PSG ไฟโคตรดีอะ
3-0. And the Smolder is well and truly online as the stacks have come through.
Yeah, he's got his stacks and his Shojin now. It's going to be really difficult.
แถมสโมเดอร์ได้บัฟเอลเดอร์แล้วด้วย
Damage pretty equal across the board. Betty without his stacks still doing plenty of damage this fight. And I mean, Dasher only doing 1k.
แต่ว่าเกมนี้ออนลำบากน่าดูมีลองคอยบล็อกสกิลอันติแล้วก็มีเรนตันคอยสตันแบบแม่นๆอยู่อันตินี่คือแบบยากอะ
You certainly do, as PSG claim themselves the Baron. They're up 5k gold.
They find such a good engage. I was worried about PSG once this Nautilus ult is about to come out.
เนี่ยเอลิโซนแบบประมาณ 2-3 ตัวเฮ้ยไม่ดี 3-4 ตัวเลย
As I think Vista lands a hook into a really nice Nautilus ult.
นี่เราดูนี่คือบอมแบบแคนเซิลอันติของออนทิ้งไปเลยอะ
Might be the most powerful 5th pick.
ถ้าออนได้อันติอาจจะยังแบบพอจะมีลุ้นนะ
Might fight. Maple's just constantly wreaking havoc. It's hard to win against this SoftBank comp front to back before your Smolder gets his stacks. So
วูคงสเต็ปเดิมเลยจ่ายแฟดไปล้วง
constantly looking for flanks.
Yeah, 8 and
อยู่แล้วเกมนี้น่าจะ PSG นะ
on shift 0-1-5, but now he has a stack, so pretty much every kill in the fights will now be going over
Yeah,
to
he
Smolder.
did the most damage in that last fight.
Yeah, this is definitely a concern now. SoftBank, they do still have their tower, and they're not that far behind, but here comes Mom, and Betty is doing damage now as Vista is going to get executed.
Yeah,
Smolder
Vista,
effects now is going to be well and truly online.
Yeah, not as tanky as he once was on the Nautilus once the Smolder comes online. And yeah, no dragons picked up for SoftBank, only 2. You want to at least have 3 by the time Smolder has stacked up, you know, to give yourself a chance of swinging the game with the soul.
One charm lands, but the cleanse comes out. Marble, very
ดีนะที่หน้าเอาเคลนมา
now. Dash is going back in. Jinjir's getting looked at. Dawning Shadow coming through, but not really connecting onto a whole lot. And Evie's trying to CC up the team, but there is no damage to follow up. And Betty, despite being knocked,
คือเกมนี้เหมือนบอมเก็บสกิลโล่ไว้แบบเพื่อออนโดยเฉพาะ
taken out thanks to the Baron Nuff minions and the Void Grubs they picked up earlier.
Yeah,
Mid and now next to be taken.
Yeah, they're just winning 4v5, sieging mid. PSG are. And I mean, it's so difficult to kill the Smolder with the Braum. You know, they have the Nautilus ult, the Ornn ult, but the Braum can do such a good job of protecting Betty that, as well as you're walking through a very fed Wukong to try get on top of this Smolder. Now, yeah.
Maple, I mean, he's 106 on the RE, and in these team fights,
เพิ่มมังกรตัวหน้าน่าจะแบบจบแล้วมั้ง
making the fights a whole lot harder for the side of SoftBank to try and pilot. Marble luckily did survive the last engagement thanks to the cleanse.
Yeah, that was a clean cleanse.
Yeah.
มังกรตอนนี้ก็ 8-2 คือถึงตัวใครที่เกิดใหม่อะ
As well as a lot of times you just take cleanse against Renekton because otherwise eventually he flash and kills you in one empowered W. Again, Maple, big charm onto Forest. This Graves, he's
เซนหน้าออกกันเวทได้1 ครั้ง
not that hard for Dasher to find damage if he's able to land the seismic shove. Maple though with the Spirit Rush and near on 0.
นิดเดียวนั้นเอลิเกือบไปเกิดใหม่แล้ว
Vista not around. He's the only member who maybe could have followed up on that play. Has flash up, so could have maybe killed Maple, but they'll take the chunk, and that will relieve some pressure off of them. Maple has just been constantly finding charms. Only really getting caught by anything just there.
Yeah. 3 items. Crypt Bloom going to be finished up by Maple, as well as the Rapid Fire Cannon now available for Betty, so this ticking time bomb feels like it has gone off.
I mean, he's level 15 on Smolder. Look at the levels
315
on SoftBank.
stacks.
Yeah, the Smolder is just 1v9 at this point. I mean, we're getting some Ornn items now for SoftBank, and they do have 2 dragons, so they can give some dragons up, but I'm not sure what you're waiting for as the SoftBank team. Your champions all do use items.
ก็คือตอนนี้ SHG ปล่อยหมดละ อาจจะรอไฟมังกรตัว3มั้ง
Smolder.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about the Smolder, but
เงินก็ต่างกันประมาณ 8,000 ก็ประมาณของ2 ชิ้นอะ เพอ2 ชิ้นครึ่งเกือบ3 ชิ้นอะ
of damage on his ulti.
Absolutely.
Becomes very threatening for something with low HP like the Senna.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a whole lot of protection.
นี่ไงระบบบัลตี้มาละระบบอะไรนะฆ่าหัว
But if they're hitting the Wukong, then well, this Ari and Smolder are probably just going to run over you. Very difficult to now pilot these team fights, I think. It does, I think, stem off draft. I'm curious about SoftBank because we see PSG ban Kalista, then Varus, and you have to know they are intending to pick Smolder.
Yeah.
I think that is a dead giveaway. If one team bans both of those champs, then they probably want the Smolder. Looks like Leandres is going to be what Betty's looking for as his 4th item, as he does have now the Haunting Guys available. Obviously, a lot of armor coming through on the Ornn.
Gia dodges out of the hook from Vista.
Ooh, charm almost landing.
Yeah.
These charms are so scary. One of them landing and someone's losing a lot of health. Janjia finds his way in. Cyclone onto 3. He is going to find a nice amount of damage here. It is onto the Ornn, so it's not all that impactful. Through comes Marble, lands on 4, and Betty, he is going wild. Archie's in the back line too. Marble is going down. Evie flashes over, and now Dasher and Evie are all that's left. It's a triple kill here for Smolder. They're not looking for the Penta.
ไม่ทันมองอะไอ้เรลิงตันมันไปข้างหลังตอนไหนป่ะ
And so all things considered, it's going to be
คือถ้าวูคองเห็นว่ามันเด้งบาสคนมาแล้วมันเอาแฟดใช่ไหมแต่เนี้ยดูไม่ทันเรลิงตันไปอยู่หลังตอนไหน
used.
Yeah, such a clean engage from Junjia. He was actually on vision, but he just made the play so quickly that
น่าจบแล้วมั้ง
Seraph pops. He's looking for some damage. The threaded volley, but maybe he's done enough to defend.
yeah,
Nautilus
PSG,
and Sen
เอ้าไม่จบเหรอ
have gotten. It was the one Nexus tower, and obviously the inhib. Vista now teleporting behind, but Maple's there. Junjia's there, and this Nautilus as well. Out of position now is Junjia. He finishes off Evie. Now he's going to finish off Vista. That teleport.
มันนอริอุสมาถึงเร็วไปหน่อย
Alan truly alive. Forest now. He's getting aggressive.
yeah, Vista may be getting ahead of himself, trying to punish the
Cyclone
overstay.
comes through. Flash. It's going to be the collateral damage, and seems like he has at least made enough distance for himself to safely get away. But
ตอนนี้เงินก็10,000 ของก็น่าจะประมาณ 3-4 ชิ้นอะ
Yeah, 4v5 now. They can do the Baron whenever they want. They seem to know Maple is looking for something in this bush, but level 17 on the Ahri now. Betty went for Leandres. I don't hate it.
no, I
Pretty
think it's
tanky.
good. So many tanky people in front of
ตอนแรกเกือบดีนะเหมือนจะเก็บเล่นๆต้นได้ก่อนแต่ว่าเหมือนของมันต่างกันเกินอะมันปิดสกอร์ไม่ได้ไง
all coming out. It's not going to find anything.
Yeah, traded for Arialt is probably always worth it.
Yeah, but now Arj's onto Forest. Woody's onto Forest. Junjia's onto Forest, and Junjia's got himself another double-digit kills now for this Wukong as he's going to find his way onto both Marble and Dasher in a matter of seconds. He's kiting back. He's waiting his time. Takes out that Edge of Night. Cyclone is available. He's not going to pop it just yet. Junjia, is he going to pop it? No. Evie's going to go down, though. He lands a 3-man knock-up on the backside, and Betty's going to claim that kill. Double kill now for the Smolder. Vista last alive here for the side of SoftBank.
อันนี้น่าจะจบจริงละ
Self a triple in that team fight. And with that, PSG, they're going to claim game number 1 for themselves.
คือวูคองแบบยืนลอยแบบชิลมากอะ
I think SoftBank were in it with a chance. It was just a couple of the early dragon fights.
โอเคเกมแรกแบบชิลๆเลย
You just can't make mistakes
Yeah.
in the early game. You kind of have to play